I like it again, working on everything here for the rookie top laner coming through when Irrelevant, excuse me, not rookie top, but in the eyes when I'm looking at someone like Adam, I know him from an international standpoint, but Irrelevant building up a bit of a reputation with myself. I'm Hysterics, I'm joined by Vedius. But again, this top-side matchup is exciting considering when we're fighting for first here today.
Yeah, that we are. Who would have expected it? Coming into the season, SK, we're definitely not sitting at the top of the table. Of course, some Euphoria experts on the podcast used to have a BDS tier, but the second that they put them in BDS tier, they immediately fell out of it. So now they're not really sure which tier to put BDS in, but it looks like BDS are trying to carve out their own, as right now they're at the forefront of securing that first place spot. We'll see what they bring out today. Adam versus Irrelevant, a super exciting matchup, especially the caliber of both top laners that we get to see today.
From the two doubted teams as well, let's not forget, I mean, SK in a lot of people's C, D tier as well, or, you know, not going past B. We look at BDS and a lot of people had doubts because, again, looking back last year and thinking, well, this was still only the 4th seed at Worlds. This was a team that had a bit of a slow start and was slow in the early game, and or rather, should I say, struggled to translate that lead. I think for BDS now, you know, we're not doubting them as much. SK still in the same pocket of flavor as we look for that first lock-in here in Winter Playoffs. It'll move to 5-1. These bottom two teams cannot catch up to that. And again, who thought would be here talking about BDS and SK leading the charge?
Let's see what they've got prepared for us today. I love how both supports have really been trying to get more active on the map compared to what we saw last year. Really trying to work with their mid laners and junglers to have more of an early game presence.
Yep.
Been loving what we've been seeing from Isma so far this split. Obviously very new to the LEC stage, but alongside an experienced player like Nisqy, it feels like that mid jungle really has come into its own. And yeah, this SK roster, after making those changes, there were a lot of question marks. How good would this roster be? But you're kind of seeing some of those pieces that they've been building on from last year really come into their own. Irrelevant in particular, we've already been talking about rising into the ranks. There's already a hot debate. Is he the best top laner in the LEC right now?
Some say yes.
Would you compare him to someone like the Shy, perhaps?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah, you would? Yeah?
I would, yeah.
Would you?
Is he that good? It's a compliment for Irrelevant, obviously. Say what you will, but it doesn't matter if he's playing or not, but Irrelevant, I mean, he's up there. Adam as well. That's why we highlighted the top lane matchup. We are in the pick and ban. I'm going to save myself from getting insulted on the Shy's behalf and start looking at some of these core banner ways that you see the Vi going through. The Jax as well against Irrelevant. It looks like Team BDS have done their homework. Not Team BSD, by the way. BDS will work on that.
The Ashe being taken away does make a lot of sense. We did see that come out from both Ice and Labrov so far this split. The Vi being taken away from Sheo, so far his most played this season, and the Senna. Not going to allow for any sort of crazy double support itemization happening in the bot side of the map. Again, I do think that there are other combinations where you can take advantage of that double support item, but it seems that pros are prioritizing playing around this Senna.
We have a bit of a refresh with pick ban for the meantime, but quadruple AD carry ban coming through. As Milio first pick alludes us to expecting something like the Lucian.
Yeah.
But will BDS take it away? Is that the angle here as we get a bit of flair to start it off on their side?
I mean, it was Tier 1 that debuted the Lucian plus Milio double support over in the LCK, right? We'll see if SK have picked up on the tech themselves. Cheeky hover of the Darius from Adam should come as no surprise. Let's see what their priority is. We've seen, we've seen a high priority on Varus.
Oh, yeah.
We've also been seeing a rise in popularity of the Maokai. Yet to see it from Sheo this split, but we saw how impactful it was in the late game team fights yesterday. SK was even a team that took advantage of that, falling behind in the early game, but then bouncing back stronger in the later portions. Zhao also available, and that's going to be the choice for Sheo.
Outside of that, I will raise that things like the Nocturne have been seen too, if we want to go a bit more flair. Falling off a little bit here as it starts getting banned less and less. The Maokai you already mentioned might be good setup, but I just want to see what rotates around with the Milio. We know it should be the Lucian. We know that Exakick, who has had a bit of a flair for things like the Kalista so far, with that not being available, it's the only place to go. But I want to start talking about jungle again. I want to see what Isma launches on. I've loved his Rell so far, Vedius. I think this debut of a split has been incredible for engages for Isma and how vocal he's been on the map so far.
With their bot lane already locked in, jungle does make a lot of sense, but maybe they want to prioritize the Azir for Nisqy. We know how strong the champion is with the changes to the itemization. You can see him talking enthusiastically about what they should lock in here.
As always.
There's no way they're locking in the Gragas here. But you talked about the Rell, and we're going to see it once again.
Hey, new here, but got something right.
Yeah, very nicely done, my friend.
That's the only thing I'll get right today is On the other side, I wish I mentioned this. Remember last game, I mean, Labrov, Blitzcrank 2 games now. One was against Fnatic, one yesterday as well from BDS. It was insane. Labrov, my MVP so far out of most of the spots in the league, if not all. He gets his engaged support once again.
So now we look at where you can limit the pool. BDS are going to have priority on their pick here, which means that they could narrow the mid pool and then look to lock something in. It looks like that their plans are to limit the top lane pool. Perhaps they want to save counter pick for Nuke.
Okay.
Nuke does have a relatively deep champion pool, especially when you contrast that to Nisqy, who also has a very deep champion pool.
Yeah.
So I imagine that he wants to try and get a decent matchup into the experienced mid laner that is Nisqy. But I wonder if this Azir will actually be taken off the board or not. Is this something that either team is concerned about? No, it's all about top lane. The Darius is going to be removed, the Sion as well, so that's now 3 bans directed towards the top side of the map. Are we going to add a Gwen into the mix? Are we going to also take Renekton away? Maybe the Garen is something that SK is concerned about?
True. I mean, seeing the Darius away, maybe it's the SK ideology that the Udyr comes out. We know that's been one of the biggest responses worldwide to that pick. That has been mediocre, far and few between. As the Azir actually taken away. So different direction here from BDS as SK will not have that to lean on for Nisqy once again.
Does mean that the Neeko is open though.
Oh yeah.
BDS could just choose to blind it, save the counter pick for Adam instead. Then they'd have a pretty strong mid jungle. But the Olaf going to be taken away as well. Okay, so obviously a lot of target bans directed towards the top side of the map.
Naturally.
And this is where you would expect a relatively safe blind, something like the Orianna potentially. The Neeko could also be completely fine. I'd be very surprised if we saw something like the Gragas come out from Nisqy. Didn't have the strongest performance on it on day 1.
But Neeko, as you said, for Nuke, seems pretty straightforward. That means Adam's going to get counterpick for that top side. So we can get something spicy now. Irrelevant has a flair for the exceptional picks in League of Legends as well. It was talked about in the interview. I mean, both these guys have crazy champion pools historically, but will Irrelevant flare it out today? This is a bit of a throwback to OMG days for Cream, if anyone out there knows the reference. Mid lane, no, not going to be there. Instead, you get the Rumble up on the top side that is consistently banned and now only 100% presence champion as Tristiana through mid as well. We have a few AD carries. We have a lot of damage coming through in the mid game. As, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to get your hopes up, it is only a Cassante in the top side in the end. You don't get anything spicy from Adam. You actually get a pretty standard team comp from BDS one.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in myself for forgetting about the Rumble. Like, the first week of the LEC, it was first pick, first banned. Then teams just kind of shifted their priority away, wanting to make sure they lock in that bot lane. But the Rumble still left up for Irrelevant, something that he's more than happy to play. Of course, they did remove some of the potential answers to it. Something that we saw Adam play in response to, it was Photon's Rumble, from what I recall, was that Sion. He just basically out-tanks the champion. Well, Cassante can do a very similar thing, while also offering a lot of utility in the fight that will come later on into the game. Now, one of the things that we've been seeing this weekend is how priority lanes can be used to really bully the opposition jungler. This is especially true when playing around things like the Lilia. But you look at SK's composition, Tristiana, really effective at getting prio in the early laning phase. Rumble, against any taller tank, going to be able to get prio on the top side of the map. This bot lane is going to be a little bit more volatile with the Blitzcrank, but when you're playing against double range, they should be able to get that early push. So I feel like SK have a lot of tools to be able to play around this early pressure. And then it's going to be up to Isma as to how he utilizes that. Because when going up against a Zhao, he's the type of jungler that's more than happy to look for those skirmishes and look for those fights.
And how Sheo counters, I mean, again, there's been a lot of hype on this jungler too. We could go through both these rosters, talk about the individuals, but it ain't about that. It's about how they come together for their security in winter playoffs here to get to the magic number 5. BDS versus SK. Who will lock it in first in winter week 2?
Now, we've all played solo queue. We've all played against the Blitzcrank, level 1s. Everyone's going to be pinging it. Oh, and what are we ready for?
You know, I woke up watching the LPL this morning, happened exactly like this. A hook champion ready for the engage, and Labrov isn't going to pull the flash or the trigger. SK know he's there. They walk away. They play it cautiously. There's a quick tidbit as we get into this game. Oh, maybe I don't have time. Labrov's going to do this blind. He'll do it blind. Backing anyway, at least it goes the wrong way.
Like the attempt, yeah, I like the attempt. Who was fishing? So tell me, what did you want to share with us?
I've got a fun fact thanks to our awesome team here. Do you know that Isma is now 6-0 on Rell all time?
All time?
All time.
He's undefeated on the champion his professional career.
All time.
That's kind of crazy, especially for a a rookie here on the LEC stage, he really has had an impressive performance.
True.
And I do think that the one loss that SK experienced was just it was a huge draft difference, right? We all talked about it. It was a composition where they had no damage, no options, and regardless of how well they could have played or they did play, they couldn't do anything. Since that blip, felt like yesterday they bounced back very well. You know, they struggled a little bit in the early game, but then when it came to the later game fights, they were playing incredibly well. And now we'll see what they can bring against BDS, because when we kind of look at these compositions, yeah, SK should have a lot of lane control. We can already see that early push starting to come out from Nisqy. On the top side of the map for Irrelevant, he's going to look to slowly do the same thing. Junglers are going to be doing opposite pathing. Actually, I say that. Sheo going to start on his red, then path back down towards the bot side. Perhaps he's either looking for an early gank or he wants to make sure that he secures those early camps before any potential invade from Isma.
Well, as you said, it's going to be a lot about the response here from Sheo on this Sins Out, as we've seen so far already. And defending that bottom side, which has been so volatile. We've come into 14-1, we've come into New Summoner's Rift. I think so far, a lot of junglers, on Rell especially, as I throw a bit back to yesterday, have used that gank path aggressively early on to get themselves down for an early bot dive. We'll see if that's the case again, especially with SK having priority in other lanes. Isma down here at the right place, but is it the right time?
Labrov now ticking over to level 2. Is aware that DOS is sitting in this brush. But I like the pathing here from Sheo.
Good ward.
He's going to be able to secure his blue buff. We'll get the level 3 as well after taking down the wolves. The problem is that Nuke can't really collapse. You're going to need Ice to give up this farm to be able to come and contest. Exakick level 3.
Close hook. Nisqy. Good attempt there, but Isma getting the smite down with Shattering Strike. Still does so much to neutrals.
But that's a great theft overall. It's something we've been seeing a lot here in the LEC. Just good use of early pressure to just get a small advantage. It's not going to be the end of the world for Sheo. But now this top Scuttle Crab, this is where things like the priority in lanes is going to be problematic. I like that Nuke has been getting some good trades in the mid lane. You can see Nisqy at about 50% of his HP, already used that pot. Isma though actually looking and hovering.
Trying to come through, Shattering Strike, the crash down there on top of Nuke. Nisqy's right on him, but the flash matched. First one still goes over and Nisqy somehow gets out. Sheo wasn't expecting that one. They commit a double flash and they get nothing.
Very well played by Nisqy. The problem for Sheo here is he wants to try and contest his crab, but Rumble does have the push. The TP is now coming from Nuke though.
Oh no,
Let's
come on.
Sheo can take advantage.
A little bit greedy. I mean, Isma's walked away from this. Nisqy's in the brush. Audacious charge. He shouldn't be dying here, but he won't. Nisqy and Isma. We asked questions about this duo, and we're still getting good answers.
Sheo, a bit of an overzealous play. The idea is good. He knows that in a straight-up 1v1 against the Rell, he can win, but we'll get to that in a second. Look at this play here. Flash him from Isma, hard commitment from Nisqy with the W. Sheo commits the flash into engage. Now there's nothing, so Nisqy can flash away. Sheo now has nothing to close that gap against Nisqy, and after getting the 4th proc of the explosion, he can then reset his W. Then Sheo, he's thinking to himself, oh, I have a health advantage. If I fight Isma straight up, then I can win. Whoa. But the damage isn't quite enough. A bit of a heal there onto Nisqy as well. And now he's going to get himself a blue buff. And he's like, what you doing, man? What you doing?
The vibe's good on this team. I mean, Nisqy from week 1 has been good energy in this team. You can see always smiling, always laughing. That vibe along with SK is only going to get better in this game, isn't it? 1,500 gold lead already, 5 minutes in with the Tristiana who's 2-0.
I didn't mention it in the replay, but it was a fleet footwork, of course, that gave him the heal in that moment. So, nicely done. Now he's got the life steal, so any bad trades is going to be able to vamp that back up.
Ooh-wee.
But we talked about how this early priority can be a huge advantage for SK, and already 700 gold lead in the mid lane, 400 in the top lane, a 20 CS lead for Irrelevant. It's looking good for SK's top side.
And I think we mentioned when we see comps like this, Vedius, that have so much lane priority and can abuse that, when they get hurt early on, it doesn't get easier. For BDS, you know, options need to present themselves, but they're far away from that with Nuke not hitting level 6 until about now, but being behind the curve as well, suffering to this high damage Tristiana. And SK immediately on top of that are also going to get 3 Void Grubs. So you've got a Tristiana who can push lanes, you're going to have Void Grubs already. Makes things just a little bit easier for SK here in this early game.
Nice advantage gained. The cross map is beginning now for BDS. They're trying to secure themselves the Dragon. You're forcing Exakick to play a little bit safer because he knows he doesn't have the assistance of his jungler, but a level advantage here for Irrelevant. Adam getting close to 6. He's going to need it before the dive comes through.
I mean, Vedi, he's got it, but it's that wave if he gets disrupted in the slightest. Isma being patient, no level 6 with a Magnet Storm. Adam holding up for now, but they might just look for the plate. It depends, but here comes Nisqy. They're waiting patiently. Down goes the carpet as Irrelevant. Going to start autoing this out, and now that you've lost your weakness, Adam, Shattering Strike not connecting. Hang on, SK. We need to clean up this dive. Irrelevant taking 2 turret shots. He survives. Things get a little bit messy, and Adam with his disadvantage will be happy that he gets something in this game.
Incredible play from Adam Sheo.
Oh, well, maybe not from this jungler, though. BDS getting caught out with their jungle. Labrov can't save the day. It's Exakick getting the kill. That Lucian getting a bit of power in this game. Also good news.
I mean, good response from the SK bot lane to punish Sheo, seeing an opportunity for an invade. But, wow, Adam navigating his way through that 3-man dive, already demonstrating the tankiness that is K'Sante, but I was not expecting him to live there. Hopefully we can get a replay and see exactly how he was able to navigate that, because that was some fancy footwork from him. And yeah, he circumvents the dive, but the problem is he's 30 CS down, he lost a plate, and while it was all well and good, ultimately SK still found an advantage. We are going to get a replay of this top play. So, as you highlighted, Adam does get the level 6. Isma's just waiting for Nisqy to get the roam up towards top lane. Nuke realizes it's happening, Adam sees it coming. He's trying to clear out as much of the wave as he can, and then here it comes. So he's going to pop the ghost quickly, he's going to sidestep with the fact he can't be CC'd to the side to dodge a lot of the rumble. Then he brings Irrelevant back underneath the tower. Nisqy then gets aggro. He's focusing on the minions. He sidesteps the CC. Irrelevant doesn't have any heat gauge anymore, so he doesn't have as much damage.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Very well played there by Adam. And he throws him a thumbs up. Thanks for visiting. And then his jungler dies.
It's like, yeah. Okay. Maybe could have gone a little bit better, but you're right. Props to Adam at the very least. That 30 CS is still going to haunt me a little bit, so I'm going to watch it for a bit, see if it changes in the top side, because if anything else happens top, remember that Adam doesn't have the TP for another minute or so. So if Irrelevant's able to push another wave, more denied, more experience gained, and more gold for these individual laners. Because remember, folks, although there is some kind of saving grace from that last play, it's still almost a 3k gold lead at 8 minutes. BDS have a dragon, but that's about it. I think more importantly, we also saw Exakick, in the meantime, pick up a kill on this Lucian bot, who we know wants to accelerate the game, especially now that he has a support item in tow as well.
That's a support item. They're going to be sharing CS. You can see he's not even that far behind in CS, but you look at that gold difference. 400, 500, 700, 500, 800. SK finding advantages all across the board, resulting in a 3k gold lead.
Cool. Isma wasn't spotted out here, I don't think. Labrov walks in. It's a crash out in the arm, but maybe it's a bit of a bait. Sheo's coming in with level 6 himself.
Sheo gonna be sitting in this brush.
Isma surprise party. Labrov waiting for the hook. Who does he go on? They crash out, interrupted. Well done, but it's a Magnet Storm as Isma flashes away Sheo with his own turning circle. But now Exakick running in. Labrov hooks him in, trying to get the kill, but he's flashed on. Exakick finds one, but he might get traded off as Ice is there. Now onto Isma. It's Varus o'clock, with Sheo picking up one to steal it in the nick of time, and BDS with a great counterplay in this early game.
I mean, yeah, BDS played that very well. SK put so much focus on trying to kill Labrov that I think that they overcommitted onto the support and gave a great opportunity for BDS to turn it around and get themselves 2 kills. That's finally going to get them onto the kill scoreboard, close that gold gap a little bit between the 2 AD carries and the junglers as well. So overall, positive play for BDS.
Having a damage source that's so far ranged as Ice is going to be great, as Labrov's starting to move as well. It's good onto Nisqy. It's rocket jump, it's buffered. That's the annoying thing about Tristiana, because Labrov doesn't have as ease of access, but it is good after that play, Vedius, to see Labrov moving across the map, which is what he did so well against Fnatic and against Mad yesterday too.
Sure. Poor Adam. Down Poor 50 CS.
Poor Adam. Poor Adam.
I mean, they let Rumble through, you know what I mean?
And also, I mean, we're not used to seeing Adam, you know, in moments like this, right? Adam has been a very significant laner, and I feel like Adam has been one of our best top laners so far. Not used to seeing him down.
Yeah. He's also not really getting a lot of assistance from his team, but again, we go back to the fact that SK have all these pushing lanes. Labrov.
Oh, hooked in, great tangle barbs. There's the Pop Blossom. Nisqy ults him out. He ain't taking him with him. X6 gonna drop there. And it's a roam from this blitz that's getting the party started again, with SK only trading off the grubs in the meantime.
I like the proactivity here from BDS. You talked about Labrov getting out on the map more. This is something, as you rightly said, we saw from him yesterday, working a little bit more with Sheo to find these opportunities. They do find the play in bot, they find another play in mid, they're closing that kill gap. The goal gap is still significant as the grubs go down in favor of SK, but this proactivity is exactly what we need to see from BDS.
I mean, again, this is all for that lock-in for first. Such an important game to give you comfort. And we'll see how they rotate around. The second dragon coming up in 10 seconds. You guys didn't see it, but Vedius helped me there. He pointed to the top right and said, I'm looking for that.
Don't need to do that. Yeah.
You've got to give me credit, you know? Show everyone that you're on top of things. I didn't even know that as we started out the day, but we can talk about that in a second. Look, Dragon is up. Teleport not available for Adam, but Irrelevant has his. I think it's worth noting that mid laners without their TP as well means that there is a single teleport in the game right now. And it's coming from SK.
Well, look at what's happening on the map. So top is being pushed in, mid is being pushed in. Isma then comes through bots to help them get the push. And now they have clear access into the river. Labrov.
Okay, looking for DOS. I mean, it's a Milio, so not tanky. Doesn't matter, Ice gets the kill, but Exakick has done so much damage into Sheo as he finally pops that ulti, he flashes away, Irrelevant, using that teleport we talked about. Isn't able to get anything done. They got priority around Dragon, but it's another kill going over this Varus while Adam finally gets reprieve in this top lane.
Labrov finds another pick. He's been involved in every single one of BDS's kills so far this game. They will concede the Dragon, but you get Adam back into the game just that little bit. He's going to secure himself a plate. Maybe he can get a second one as well, and they get another kill on the board. What was a 3k gold deficit earlier, now decreased to 1k. And again, sure, I mean, overall, they're even in Dragons. They're going to get themselves another plate. It was looking doom and gloom for BDS in the early game, but things slowly starting to turn for them.
And I mean, I wanted to bring this up because, you know, topside was at a deficit earlier as well, and it was experience for this Cassante that was also struggling out. Adam with that push, with that double turret plate push as well, is able to almost even up to Irrelevant. It's huge. I mean, considering that, yeah, down on the bot side too, people like Ice versus Exakick actually in favor of BDS's AD carry by a large margin. Team that felt like it should have been out with such good early game play.
I mean, it's
right back in this.
The double support items force you to play together, right?
Good point.
Whereas Labrov is roaming around the map. He's only sitting at level 6, but Ice has just been free farming in that bot lane, completely isolated. So he's basically got a solo lane's XP, finds himself at level 9. That level discrepancy does offer a lot of power, especially on this lethality Varus as well. So BDS not in a bad state whatsoever. This goal difference is not so significant that they're out of the game yet by any means. The game will slow down a little bit now as both teams look to trade for plates, try and secure the last bit of gold that they can before those are about to fall off. And then these outer towers become a major objective. With the Herald now spawning in 8 seconds, this will be a big neutral to start unlocking those towers.
Those couple of seconds are up. I mean, SK here first. You can see, though, Sheo is not going to give this up. Just a quick tidbit. Plates on top of your screen. Matched again, pretty much. The fact that BDS have caught up is astounding me. And I think Vedius, it's going to astound me as we watch this fight play out. Irrelevant with the red carpet laid down. Labrov fought out. He has to flash over. He was isolated. And that's a couple of summoners with the heal included from Ice that have been used in front of this Herald. BDS still hungry for it, but they don't have the same willpower.
Nisqy looking for Adam.
He's ghosted. He's away. But again, more summoners. Well.
There was the concern about the insect play, but Labrov looking for a hook, Hex Flash.
Wants to go over. Who does he find? Exakick out of range. Great E in time, but no way to SK lose this. Oh! They do! But Nuke's in! Pop goes the Weasel as this mid laner may have set up BDS for success. Isma's now isolated too, but Nisqy's picked up the kill on the back and still as relevant as ever. But boy, oh boy, did Nuke make our hearts aflutter.
An incredible ultimate from Nuke from over the wall. SK were not expecting it at all. Labrov looking for another hook, forcing Nisqy to play on the defense. This means that BDS should be able to unlock this mid tower, even though they didn't get themselves the Herald. A much needed objective. First tower of the game goes to BDS.
Yeah, all for Herald. I mean, you got to call worth at least, even with the trade in the top side. That's crazy, but I thought, oh man, this fight's going to go way, way down with Nisqy getting free firing, but it didn't matter as teleport comes topside. BDS going to show us another one. Tangle Barbs doesn't connect, but Exakick is out of mana. Is he out of options? Onto Nuke. He's going to try and take this kill down with him, but without him here, ain't no chance. He picks up a kill. He picks up a bit of gold in his back pocket too. And gold is now somehow even as we rewatch this.
So Labrov gonna Hex Slash over the wall, throws out the hook, nice dash from Exakick to get away from that. But look at Nuke, sneaks in behind, no real vision from SK. Oh, with the rocket belt as well, connects onto 4. They focus down Irrelevant, they force DOS out of the fight, SK immediately becomes scattered. Props to Nisqy, getting a kill back at least as Adam isolates himself from the rest of BDS, but the damage is already done. 2 kills in favor of BDS. And you can see the coach. He's like, you know, one of those things is he went into that game and he said, guys, bear in mind the Neeko flank. So now he sees the Neeko flank and he's like, I told them about the Neeko flank.
You didn't listen. Oh, it's rough. I mean, again, that shows kind of the team fighting prowess, the power that can come through from BDS. And here in this game, as I mentioned before, things are even, but you gotta remember, more importantly, it's not like there's a hard dragon stacking on either side. There's one apiece. And now as we come up to number 3, BDS has some of the power thanks to some of the earlier progression of people like Ice. 2 items here with opportunity picked up. Exakick is unable to match that. Unable to match it at all. And it's crazy to me that, again, Ice is going to be so relevant in this fight. Nuke we saw as well. Might not have the flash, but the Pop Blossom is back up and available. How do SK approach this one, considering that they're going to have to rely on their all-in with a lot of these key summoners down for the engage?
Well, looks like that BDS is going to try and attack the split pusher. Oh, not quite over the wall, but I don't know if it matters.
Does it really? I mean,
buffers that,
out.
wow.
Second time.
I mean, that's kind of crazy because I feel like with the Zhao Titanic Hydra combo, the timing on that knockup is now not what it used to be. It's so much faster. Woo! Harold's going to try and unlock this mid tower. Won't quite be enough to secure the objective. BDS going to murder the children of the Rift Harold there. Yeah, it got dark.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, to be fair. It's just depends how PG we're going to present it as. Look, the Dragon's just going to be simply taken by SK.
Bro, that, like, you know, with Power World becoming really popular, it was like brought to my attention recently how dark Pokemon is. Oh,
what, that you capture Pokemon and put them in a ball?
No, not even that. It's just that, like, there are some Pokemon, you know, like, I think it's Drowsy. You know that Drowsy, like, eats the dreams of children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Specifically children?
Yeah, no, I know, right? And there's all sorts of, like, really dark stuff in Pokemon that's just kind of hidden under the illusion of smiles.
True. True. There's a couple of Pokemon that are a little bit disturbed, I agree.
Anyway, on to happier topics. The gold now dead even. Remember earlier on into the game, we were talking a lot about how SK, with their early advantages, were in a 3k gold lead, but now Sheo is definitely back into the game after his early blunders.
Yep.
He's now secured his second item with the Frozen Heart as well, so he's going to be a big threat on the front line. And look at Ice, 213 CS. We're not even 19 minutes into the game. He's got both Opportunity and the Ghost Blade working towards that third item. He's in a very strong position. And we'll see how SK navigate that as we get closer to this fight. The siege on the mid lane, BDS are holding strong for now.
And remember that if this turns into a fight, if it's long enough drawn out, Baron will be up in 50 seconds too. We could very well have an early one if there is a wipe here, if there is a game state change. So as we hover around mid, nothing happens for now, but just as easily it could start with a pick with people like Labrov, even people like Isma as well in this Rell. Nisqy defends bottom side for the time being with Sheo moving down, Nuke just holding sides. But you can see right now, if you just look at the game state, if you look at the map, it looks like BDS have full control, especially down bot side. The map is littered with red wards down towards that red side jungle, giving you a bit of power from Nuke to push up so close.
Sure. I mean, it's just a bit of a neutral mid-game now, as there's no major objective to play for. You did talk about the Baron, but I'd be surprised if either team try and force that objective. I think that SK have a slightly faster Baron than compared to BDS, just because of their double AD carry composition, and the fact that this Varus is lethality means that he doesn't have the advantage of all that extra attack speed. The observers are highlighting what we can see right now, and look at this vision from BDS. You already talked about it. The map is just littered. So much control in favor of BDS, and it feels like that for the first time in this game, SK starting to feel the pressure. Dragon not for another 2.5 minutes. They'd love to unlock this mid tower. One way they can do it is, now that they've got the push on bot, they can bring Irrelevant over, they can use his ultimate to try and zone BDS away from the tower, and then take advantage of Nisqy's range to sort of chip away at it. The problem is you're so scared of a potential nuke from over the wall, or a hook from Labrov. Speaking of Labrov,
I mean, maybe they should have been scared of this as Labrov silences Exakick. He stepped up, he's going back in! Exakick, you're a spicy meat to ball. That was just so deadly.
He's a spicy meatball, isn't he?
Coming back from Jack, that was a Jacky Love movement. Eating back in. I got 10% health, I can do something. That was crazy.
Ambitious is the word I would use.
I agree.
Does lose his flash. The heal had to come through from DOS along with the ultimate. But nice play from Labrov once again. You sung his praises when we went into draft, and we have to keep singing them. He's having a great game on the Blitzcrank so far.
Yep.
Been involved in 6 of the team's 7 kills. The only one he wasn't involved in was when Nisqy got caught. Sorry, Exakick got caught in a top lane. But yeah, now we're getting closer to that 1 minute 30 dragon spawn. That becomes the next major objective. Nisqy gonna push out top. We'll tick him over to level 14. Maybe he'll have enough gold for another item. We'll have the TP up in 5 seconds as well, so actually he can just keep pushing this lane if he wants to. They can send Nuke to go and match for wave clear, or they can actually go keep Adam up there, depending on their preference.
But I have to say, Exakick moving up here by himself for the time being could be deadly, especially with the ward hit. DOS is isolated. All it takes is a hook from Labrov. He finds it. DOS going to get launched in. The Rumble ult counts, but DOS is dead. Now, in the meantime, Adam and Sheo are tanking it up, and they're not dying too quickly. Irrelevant ran in, but this Hextech Protobelt Rumble is not doing as much as the Leandries. This Chains of Corruption from Ice. Miss and whiff. And SK hold on to 4 for now, but it's Labrov's hooks again that set up success for BDS.
And this is giving a window for Nuke to push in that bot lane. He's chipping away at that tier 1 tower.
No way.
So SK are forcing the Baron to try and get the TP out from him. DOS is going to respawn in 1 second and make his way back out onto the map. They are melting through this Baron.
Yeah, they are, especially with the Rumble, despite items. I mean, 2-item Rumble does it quick, especially with the Tristiana too. But SK pulling off for the time being at 5k. But
BDS are just going to start it.
You're right, it's not de-aggroed, so Adam holding on for the time being, trading there as Labrov gets another hook, this time onto Irrelevant. The poke's there, he can't move, he fails the flash, and the TP over the wall, it's early, but it won't matter. Isma tries to come through, interrupt Nuke, he won't get the big pop blossom, but does that matter too? Absolutely not. Exakick has to run for the hills, as BDS are just clutching after clutching.
Really, the idea there was promising from SK, but the execution was just better from BDS. Labrov now looking.
He's going to get the hook. Oh! Nisqy still gets pulled in. He trades it, but that was so worth.
What? I'm going to need a slow-mo replay of that one. I was convinced Nisqy flashed out of the way of that. Holy. The dragon going to be secured by BDS. We're noticing that with Isma really being the only form of CC, it's difficult to lock down this BDS roster. Ice is just getting so much space to deal so much free damage. Nuke finding these great angles, the TP flank forcing SK to split up, and then Adam just creating disruption on the front line. It's the style of play that we continue to see from BDS. They are just a good team fighting team, and it's a way that they keep getting these edges in these games. So we look back at this now. The Baron had been started, the dance, a nice hook from Labrov, the knock-up as well from Adam. Chains is seeing Irrelevant, the TP comes in. Isma locks up Nuke, forcing him back though. Exakick isolated. And then we're going to see this chase down onto Nisqy. So give us an ultra slow-mo of this one, observers. The Hex Flash comes in, the silence is going to come out. What? That's crazy! No, man, no.
You just LeBron things, or what do you want to call this one? What?
Okay. That was.
I don't know,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
That was.
Go on, Betty. Go explain it.
Nah.
Well, I mean, it's just LeBron on Blitzcrank, more of a reason to ban him, I guess. 3 games in a row now. This guy is clutching on this hook champion, no matter what you want to call it. There's Nisqy. He's trying to get something in the meantime, but as we've seen, I mean, this game has flipped over despite the 1k gold difference not being too much. He's a blast.
Nuke.
Wait.
I love this
No
tech
one will
so
know.
much.
There we go. Nuke now, Sheo now, but will it matter anyway? I mean, he's in position. Pop Blossom, 4 again! Nuclear intelligence, more like it. He's going to get a double. Add another one onto the list. Nuke, you are impressing me from here to here, and you can't see it home, but my hands are wide open.
The engages from BDS continue to be spectacular. The plant didn't really do anything, but it was all the long con.
It did do something.
They
Betty.
didn't suspect it whatsoever. The engage from Sheo, the knockback as well, forcing the early flash out from DOS. It's a great Rumble ultimate, but it's an even better Neeko ultimate. The flash in from Nuke, spectacular as he connected onto 4. Ice is completely untouched, and it's a one-sided affair for BDS. They're looking to cement themselves a spot in playoffs.
Yep.
The top of the table team. Question marks surrounded this roster. They were benching Crowny in favor of Ice. And I don't know what this change has done, but this team is looking revitalized and ready to take on the Winter Split.
And you know, in the off-season, people were concerned about that because, again, big voice in the team for Crowny. And when you take that away, a lot of the time, teams fall apart, even some of the best of teams. BDS, after coming off the back of Worlds, we had a lot of questions, and we had a lot of hopes for this team, but also a lot of doubts thrown into the mix.
Hey,
I'm glad it's been positive.
BDS still beat NA, okay?
That's true.
They can take that with pride, okay?
Like some people, yeah.
Nisqy gonna be caught once again.
I think he might just die here, Betty. I mean, by himself. Ice, that was a solo kill despite Sheo and Labrov being there, by the way.
Yep, that was full lethality Varus, just one-shotting Nisqy, no flash. He was trying to push the wave out, make it harder for BDS to siege, but they're not going to have any problems pushing this wave in. You'll notice Adam as well moving into mid. BDS actually playing through all 3 lanes. This can be pretty difficult to do, but if done well, it really splits up the resources of their opposition. The problem is that because it isolates people so much, it gives an opportunity for SK to force a fight somewhere. So sure, maybe BDS will get a tower bot lane, but if SK can find a good fight in top, it can just buy them more time until the next objective spawns. But right now, BDS are playing the patient game. They're doing a good job. They get top tier 2, they get mid tier 2. They're going to keep this bot lane pushed in as the resets now start to come through. 3.3k was the Baron Bower play. BDS firmly in control of this game.
Oh yeah, moved up to 6 now. I mean, with this Dragon up in a minute, it's a Hail Mary from SK. But we know this game, I mean, Nisqy's had all the resources, unfortunately hasn't been able to overshove lanes, hasn't been able to make it an even trade in most cases, as Nuke is just waiting in brush. Hello, DOS. Bit of Pop Blossom? Why not? The rest of the team's here, but does he care? No, he does not. He's unstoppable for a reason with 14 stacks on the Magi's. Looking to beef it up a little bit more. SK going to get pressured in this bottom side, while you see the lanes are building up mid, building up top. BDS have it all in a line. Yeah,
they're overstacking on the bot side of the map to make full use of their numbers advantage and the Baron. Woo! Nice damage on the Exakick. They're going to secure another tower and contest.
Take yet another. Base is on the agenda next. Mid slow pushing in from the looks of it.
30 seconds left. DOS still dead. BDS waiting for Nuke's ultimate to come back up before they can really threaten a dive. Rumble ultimate likely to come through to try and slow this siege. Or not, I stand corrected.
Just walking in, they don't care. Culling isn't going to do much. Sheo ulties and bye-bye Exakick in an instant. That man is dead. And even though DOS is alive, guess what? He's dead again. Ice is just taking names as well. BDS a step away from locking in the first spot in Winter Playoffs, and right now it's looking smooth. In 29 minutes, as they take down the first Nexus turret, they are playing with their food. The Relevant steps out, Labrov with a hook. He finds yet another, they turn. Guess what? Another person here, Pop Blossom, easily done. BDS styling on the league right now as well as SK. 29 minutes indeed to lock in the first spot in Winter Playoffs here in the LEC.
A bit of a shaky early game from BDS, but pick after pick after pick. So much credit needs to be given to Labrov for this game. What a great Blitzcrank performance.
Again.
Again.
And again. I mean, it was fanatic. It was then mad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Voting for your Pog is going to be difficult because Nuke with the great ultimate.
True.
In a single game, he found a 4-man ultimate twice. But like, so many great performances. Ice didn't die. I mean, I'd love to see how much damage he actually took that game, because I don't think it was very much.
I don't think so either.
What a great performance from this team. Great standout from BDS, and as you rightly said, locking their spot in the Winter Playoffs.
It's huge here for BDS. Well, 4 players on the stage. What's happening? Okay, hands in the air. But ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, while we wait for the vid, you can vote for your key player of the game at LEC on X. There we go. Is it Sheo, Nuke, or Labrov? Again, you know exactly what I'm going to do, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a bit of a break. But when we return, it's time to talk with Labrov right afterwards.
Red Bull gives you wings.